Hello, welcome everyone to Vinyl Addict, and I'm Chili, and it's been a minute since I gave you guys a video. I've been feeling under the weather, but I feel a lot better now, and I'd like to share my thoughts on this box set of El Mocambo 1977 Rolling Stones. Now, this you know, they put out a lot of live material out there, like from the Vault series. You know, there's been quite a few album releases. A lot from the Steel Wheels tour I was seeing, and the Tattoo You era, but this one is from, if you date it back, the material and when it came out, this is around the time of Black and Blue, which is one of my favorite albums from the Rolling Stones, and they play like 5 songs out of that album, 5 out of 8. And the thing about this collection here, some of this was released a long time ago from the 1977 Love You Live album, where one side 3 had, they called it the Mocambo side, and they had like 4 songs from that show, from this show. Mannish Boy was one of them, and it was, I just remember that was like the best side of the whole album. The other material that was recorded, you know, from that time, it seemed very sloppy, and it just seemed it was like probably to me it wasn't really worth listening to. And when I heard that they put this out with that show, there's 2 nights they played. They played the March 5th, 1977 and March 4th. This is the entire March 5th set list, and the set list is amazing. I'll go through to you right now. They start off with Honky Tonk Women, All Down the Line, Hand of Fate, which is from Black and Blue, Route 66, going to the first album, Fool to Cry, Crazy Mama, Mannish Boy, Crackin Up. Now they do some covers too, so you know, Mannish Boy is Muddy Waters, and Crackin Up is Bo Diddley, but they do it in a calypso way, which is really cool. Dance Little Sister, that's from It's Only Rock and Roll. Around and Around, Tumbling Dice. Now Tumbling Dice, it's a great song. I collect a lot of these live material, live albums from the Stones, and Tumbling Dice actually, for me, it started sounding better from the Steel Wheels tour, and afterwards, only due to the fact that, you know, you got the background singers, you know, and it always felt like that song kind of fell short live in the beginning. Even with Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones, it just always seemed like it does need those singers, those background singers. And when the Steel Wheels tour came around and they got their, you know, their horn section, they got, you know, the whole big shebang, those songs sounded way better. You know, Give Me Shelter, you know. There's few instances where it does really sound good in their earlier tours that don't have the background singers, and you know, the big production and everything, and Tumbling Dice on here, it sounds okay, but it's still like it really isn't one of my favorites as far as prior to the Steel Wheels tour. But keep going. We have Hot Stuff, which is from Black and Blue, which they do a great version of. Star, Let's Spend the Night Together, Worried Life Blues, another cover song, Little Red Rooster. I mean, they're going back to their early catalog here. It's Only Rock and Roll, Rip This Joint, Brown Sugar, Jumping Jack Flash, which is probably one of the best versions of that song live that I've ever heard. Now that is the set list, pretty much those 20 songs, and then you get 3 bonus songs from the previous night, which is Melody from Black and Blue, Luxury, which is from It's Only Rock and Roll, which is cool, and Worried About You, a Tattoo You song, which, you know, they were just pretty much playing on this night, and this doesn't even come out until 4 years later, and it's pretty much similar to how it sounds. Mick is kind of going in and out on the falsetto, trying to find his place in that song, but you know, they're going through it. And the one cool thing about this set list is that not only is there deep cuts, you know, like Luxury, and then, you know, there's a lot of confidence in the new album at the time. They're playing like a lot of material from Black and Blue, which is cool. And this is Ronnie coming into the band, and they're delving back from the very first album, and you know, a lot of deep cuts. Star, you know, from Goat Head Soup is on here, you know, Rip This Joint, you know, from Exile on Main Street. So it's a really cool set list. And then of course you have those Jumping Jack Flashes and Brown Sugars at the end, but overall, I mean, it's just a well-rounded set list, and for a fan, for a real Rolling Stones fan, it's not just like, oh, just give me, you know, Sympathy for the Devil for the 80th time, and you know, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, and you know, all the hits and everything, but you know, they have like a few of those. But then, as I went through it, like Dan's Little Sister, you know, there's just a lot of deep cuts on this set list, and it's played in a club that only holds 300 people. You know, I'll show you some of the pictures here from it. Here's a good picture of Mick and Keith. There's Charlie. Let's see, there's one right there. Now the way you could read about the gig in these gatefolds, and how they got 300 people from the radio station that worked with them. They asked them, callers, like, what's the craziest thing you do for a Rolling Stone, to go see the Rolling Stones? And so you get, you know, some real diehard people that, you know, probably answered the question, you know, really to the point where it's just like, yeah, okay, you're going to the show because you're that crazy to do whatever you're going to do to see the Rolling Stones. And they went under an assumed name called the Cockroaches. So just a little history there, but there's more to the story. Here's a picture of Keith. And there's Ronnie. Let's see what the last one is. It's a really small little set they got there, stage setup. This is the same touring group that they had in '75 when they released that from the vault, the LA Forum one. They have Billy Preston on here, and I forgot who the percussionist was, and Ian Stewart. So it's that same same group, and but this sounds so amazing. They haven't played in 7 months prior to this show, and they had like a couple of soundtracks, but they sound like they sound so tight, you know, on here. And I would have to say it's one of my I'm gonna do a top 10 of live Rolling Stone albums that have come out, you know, because this would have to be in my top 5. It's right up there with the Brussels Affair, you know. That is an amazing, which was a bootleg, which they released out of from the Vault series, which was in the Goathead Soup box set. It's up there with that. It's that good. And if you're a Stones fan, a diehard Stones fan, you want to hear songs like Luxury and Melody live. And that's the kind of thing that I look for when I'm always getting these albums, these live albums from the Stones, is the, you know, what's on the set list, you know, what, you know, because it's just, I just want to hear these songs, these deep cuts that, you know, other than hearing, you know, the 80th time, like I said, of Sympathy for the Devil, you know. But when you come across like on here, just like Crazy Mama and, you know, Hand of Fate live, you know, and those songs, Hot Stuff. This Hot Stuff is way better than the one that was on Love You Live. Then again, this whole thing, like I said, from beginning to end, pretty much the only thing that was lacking for me, like I said, was Tumbling Dice, you know. But other than that, this is a really big, you know, thumbs up on this album. Get this album. You don't believe me? At first, listen to it on the streaming service, and you know, that's how I heard it first. And I just said, I gotta get this. I mean, I was gonna get it regardless, you know. But just hearing the song selection that they played that night on those both nights, you know, it's amazing. So, you know, comment, like, and share this video. Comment tell me what you think. If you got this album, you got this box set, what are your thoughts on this? Is this the best, one of the best Stones live compilation live albums that you've heard? If not, you know, to each their own. But I'll see you in the next video.